So the mainstream media, politicians, and some of you all are hard at work trying to gaslight people into believing that there's no problems happening in Springfield, Ohio. They want you to believe that 20,000 Haitian immigrants, some of which are cannibals, some of which practice voodoo, all of which have been transported to Springfield, Ohio, directly from a civil war in Haiti. They want you to believe that all of these people are peacefully coexisting in Springfield, Ohio. They're all outstanding citizens. And the people, the natives of Springfield, Ohio, they're the problems. The random people who've been living in Springfield, Ohio all of their lives, they're the problems. The 20,000 Haitian cannibal voodoo practicing immigrants, they're innocent angels. No, they're innocent angels that are capable of doing no wrong. And the people of Springfield, Ohio are the problem. These people, like I said, they're working overtime, doing whatever they can to gaslight people into believing that nothing is happening at all. But when you listen to the people who are actually from Springfield, Ohio, the stories that they can tell, the stuff that they're saying in these city council meetings and you name it, it's absolutely heartbreaking. I don't see how anyone could sit here and listen to some of what is being said and not be infuriated and not be concerned. But then again, we got a lot of people in this country right now that are all supporting a certain agenda. It doesn't matter if their neighbors get killed in the process. It doesn't matter if your pets get killed in the process and eaten. It doesn't matter how many news stories we see of illegal immigrants doing horrible things to young women. No, ignore all of that because their current agenda is more important. And you see stories like what's coming out of Springfield, Ohio, it hurts their agenda, right? So they have to pretend like this stuff is fake. But my question to you all is, who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe these lying, dirty, no good scoundrel politicians? Are you going to believe the same fake news media that has lied to us about literally everything always? Are you going to believe them? Or are you going to believe the innocent, helpless women of Springfield, Ohio, who have become victims to these Haitian immigrants that are running amok in their community? Who do you believe? Personally, I'm not going to tell you what you should believe, but personally, I'm going to believe the people of Springfield, Ohio. You can go believe the politicians if you want to. You can go believe CNN and MSNBC. They lie to you about everything else, but I guess you could trust them now. You can go believe them. You know who I'm going to believe? I'm going to believe this woman that we're about to listen to right now. Go ahead and roll the clip.
I'm done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard. And I can't. Look at me, I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, "Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move." He said, "We can't do this anymore." He said, "It's killing both of us mentally." I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status, and you're protecting them, and I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed. But who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me? I want out of this town. I am sorry. Please give me a reason to stay. Thank you.
Thank you.
How can you listen to what this helpless woman is saying and not sympathize with her? How can you listen to all of this and be okay with all of this happening? How can you listen to this and still deny that there is a very real problem? Just because MSNBC told you not to believe it because they need you to vote for a certain person. How could you sit there in good conscience and just go along with this nonsense when the people of Springfield, Ohio are desperately speaking out, reaching out, a last-ditch effort to save their community? Is it because this hasn't happened to your community yet? Well, guess what? It's going to. And I don't care what lengths these people go through to try to pretend like this isn't happening. We see the same thing happening in Colorado right now. We see the same thing happening all over the country. And the funniest part is, the same people who literally hate the police, they say defund the police, they've been rioting against the police for years now. They say, well, guess what? Local law enforcement says it's not true. The police said it's not true. So now you trust law enforcement? Now y'all believe the cops? Oh, we need to listen to the local police department because they say this problem ain't true. Don't listen to the lady with freaking Haitians camping out in her front yard throwing things at her. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to the countless other people who are speaking out, some of which I already let you listen to. Don't believe your eyes and the videos and stuff that you're seeing. Don't believe the evidence. Don't believe the news stories. Don't believe any of that, right? Believe us. But one thing you people, everyone here is going to have to realize is that the police departments, the media, it's not your friend. The police departments in many cases are working alongside the media. They're working alongside the politicians because you see, folks, things like this, that what's happening in Springfield, Ohio, things like this don't just happen out of nowhere. There's a lot of money, okay, being made here. There's a lot of different people making a lot of different money. As this town is getting flooded, it's not like these people decide to do this for no reason, no. There's financial incentives. And I'm not saying this to direct it at random cops who are on the street saving lives, but the police departments are corrupted. At higher up in the chain. I'm not saying your everyday average cop who's rolling around doing traffic stops is all in on this big conspiracy to cover up the truth from the public, but the higher ups are, folks. They're getting paid off. These police departments are definitely in on some of this stuff, getting paid off to turn a blind eye towards all of the crime that is being committed against or committed by these immigrants. They're being paid off to turn a blind eye and not acknowledge the problems that are happening in these communities. If the police were actually doing their jobs, which we know they're not, we wouldn't have these problems in the first place. Because 20,000 Haitian immigrants or not, they should not be allowed to be doing what they're doing, like driving around without a license, crashing all over the place, killing random pets and ducks and animals in your parks and in your backyard. These things are against the law if me and you did it. But because they're Haitian immigrants, the police are made to turn a blind eye. And if you have a problem, if you say something about it, if you defend yourself, the police will arrest you. It's time for you guys to realize that the police ain't on your side. They're not here to really save you. Now, like I said, I'm not talking about random police officers, patrolling the streets that really are doing their job protecting people. But for the most part, these people aren't here to save you. They're here to work against you. And when your communities are taken over, if you try to stop it, if you try to do something about it, you'll go to jail while these other people from foreign countries are protected. And we've seen enough examples of that already to know that to be true. But as always, you all are free to believe whatever you want. If it makes you happy, if it makes you sleep better at night thinking that this stuff isn't happening, fine. Go ahead and believe the mainstream media that lies to you 24/7. Go ahead and believe them. But when the time comes, and that time is going to come, I guarantee you it. When the time comes that this type of stuff affects your life, it affects your job, it affects your household, it affects one of your family members, don't come crying because no one wants to hear it. Because you ignored it. All of you who are sitting here ignoring this problem, pretending like it's not real, despite the people of Springfield, Ohio telling you it's a very real problem, You all are part of the problem. You all are the ones that are allowing this to happen. And when it does happen, you all are going to be the ones crying and screaming the loudest for help, because you all caused these problems for yourself. You turned a blind eye. Matter of fact, you didn't turn a blind eye. What you did is you tried to fight and combat the people who were actually out here trying to spread awareness. Like, people like me are actually out here doing what we can to stop this from coming to your backyard, right? But you've done everything you can to stand, and people like me, you're trying to stand in our way from spreading the truth. Therefore, when this does affect you, and it will, maybe you deserve it. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and continue looking into this story. Don't worry, folks. For the naysayers out there, we got so much. We got so much evidence, so many articles to go through, so many firsthand accounts. It's just overwhelming, the amount of stuff that I have piled up that I need to get through when it comes to this story. So over the next few days, we'll definitely be diving into it. But for right now, I want you all to dive down into my comment section. While you're down there, let me know what you think about this. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. Be sure to hide your pets tonight. You don't want the Haitians getting them. And I'll talk to you all soon in the next video.